Okay, so let me officially welcome all of you again back to our governance meetups, and it's all about exposing us to more about what Cardano is all about, what happens in the ecosystem, how Cardano is decentralized, and how the various bodies actually operate, so that you realize that Cardano actually has a lot going on in its space. All right, so our topic for today is understanding Cardano's key governance bodies, and we'll be looking at DReps, that's delegated representatives. We have the Constitutional Committee and also stake pool operators. So we'll try as much as possible to cover at least 2 for today, if time permits us, so that we climax the next time we meet, or if we're able to also finish them on time, because I don't want this meeting to be long, so that we can always at least go to do other things before the day ends. All right, so and this is proudly brought to you by Cardano Africa Academy, where we create content, organize meetups exclusively on Cardano blockchain, its impact, and how locals like us in Africa can make good use of this opportunity that it presents. All right, so why governance matters in Cardano? So most of you have been hearing governance on Cardano. Why does it matter? So in our previous lesson, I already dealt with this in detail, but then this is a recap. So governance ensures decentralization and sustainability. So governance matters in Cardano because it allows everyone to participate. So with utmost transparency, and everyone gets to input into the ecosystem on what's going on. So the first point is governance ensures decentralization and sustainability, and also enables community participation in decision making. So that is why governance actually matter. All right, so okay, so the next slide is what overview of governance bodies. So like I said, we have what DReps, which we'll be looking at in full, in detail. They are the delegated representatives, and they basically represent the community. So please kindly take note of this. Kindly take note of this, the basic role they play. So DReps, they actually represent the community. Then we also have the CC, that is Constitutional Committee. And the Constitutional Committee, they enforce governance rules. So every rules that has been implemented, documented, or written into the Constitution, is the Constitutional Committee that actually enforces those rules. Yes, so let's take note of their various rules and how they differ from one another. Then we also have SPOs, that is stake pool operators, and they maintain the network security and decentralization. So stake pool operators are primarily responsible for maintaining the Cardano's network, or the Cardano blockchain. Yes, so that is what we should take note of. All right. Okay, so governance framework in Cardano. So we have ADA holders, and that is ADA holders are at the core of governance. So once you hold ADA, when it comes to governance, you can also take part in most of the governance activities, and one common example is what Catalyst does, that is voting on proposals, and you realize that you had the ability to vote if you owned about 25 ADA, and if you actually registered, you would have been able to vote with your 25 ADA. So once you hold ADA, you also can take part in the governance activities. Then governance bodies. So governance bodies ensure decisions are transparent and effective. So that is what the governance bodies we are looking at, they actually do. Then delegation process. ADA holders delegate roles to governance bodies. So as an ADA holder, you also have that ability to delegate your ADA to a DRep to take actions on your behalf, or to take governance actions or engage in governance activities on your behalf. So that is another benefit that ADA holders have in Cardano's governance. Good. So now we are looking at who DReps are. So who are DReps? Who are DReps? Who are DReps? Who are DReps? Okay, so DReps, like I said, are also referred to as what? Delegated representatives. So DReps are delegated representatives and act on behalf of what? ADA holders. So that is their primary role. So I know most of you have been hearing about DReps in the Cardano ecosystem, but you are like, oh, who are these DReps and why do they matter? So now DReps, so they act on behalf of what? ADA holders. So maybe you hold ADA and you want to delegate it to maybe a DRep so that he can take governance actions on your behalf, or on behalf of all ADA holders that have delegated to such a DRep. They actually will act on your behalf most of the time. So ADA holders delegate voting power to a trusted DRep. So you look out for just like we look out for stake pool operators when we want to when we wanted to delegate our ADA to stake pool operators. You know, you have to look for stake pool operators. If it's Yoroi wallet, you are looking you have your ADA in, so that to delegate it, then you look for whichever stake pool you want to delegate to. So we have a lot of stake pools. We have the Lido Nation stake pool, we have Kaizen stake pool, we have I think WADA stake pool is there, just to mention a few, and a whole lot of them. So you will have to do your research on which stake pool you actually want to delegate to, then do a search. So the same mechanism works for the DReps. I only use the stake pool to cite an example because that was what most of you have done, and the DReps too is also the same. On your wallets now, you can actually search for a DRep by their IDs, and then you have the ability to delegate to them. Yes, so basically this is who DReps are. So they are delegated representatives. They act on behalf of ADA holders, and ADA holders delegate voting power to what? Trusted DReps. Trusted underlined. Trusted because you believe that they are going to convey your voice and act on it accordingly for the good of everyone, or for the good of you all. Yeah. Alright, so responsibilities of DReps. Among many responsibilities, I just selected a few. So we look at primarily what the responsibility of delegated representatives are. So the number one responsibility or their role is that they study and understand proposals. So DReps study and understand proposals. And how do they do this? So DReps have the crucial responsibility of thoroughly examining and understanding all proposals put forward in the governance process. So let's say there's a proposal that is submitted and requires that the community should vote for the approval of that proposal. Since DReps are actually representing ADA holders to make this decision, because they hold ADA holders voting power, so what they have to do is that at all costs they must read that proposal thoroughly. So maybe let's say Cardano from the treasury wants to allocate $5 million ADA, $5 million worth of ADA to Africa for our governance meetups. So it means and this one is DReps that are going to vote. So what they have to do is that, you can't vote on what you don't understand. So once they see such a proposal that needs the community to vote, what they have to do is to study that proposal and understand the proposal, and also now get back to the community to find out whether this decision they want to take is for is agreed by a larger portion of the community that have delegated their ADA to them, before they can proceed to actually vote on that proposal. So that is what one of the roles of DReps. So they study and understand proposals before they take action. Then they also cast informed votes in governance decisions. So that's the second role or responsibility of DReps. So after they study the proposals, they are actually expected to make well-informed decisions when casting their votes on governance matters. So you don't just vote because you feel like voting as a DRep, but then you have to come into consensus with your community that have delegated to you, and then you now go to cast your votes with respect to the voice they handed over to you. Maybe let's say they said yes, vote in favor of that proposal, so you are supposed to go and vote for that proposal. But if they also vote against that proposal, then that is what you are supposed to go and do. So basically that is another role of DReps. Then they also represent the community's best interest. So a key responsibility of DReps is to act as representatives for the community. That's ensuring that their decisions align with what's best for the Cardano ecosystem as a whole. Yes, so like I was saying, DReps don't actually have to do things their own way. So before they vote on an activity, or before they vote on I just got a message right now. Can I check on my slides? Is there an issue with the slides? Please kindly let me know. I just checked the inbox, the chat box, and I can see your message. Can you let me know what is wrong with
it's okay now.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't sliding, but just on one particular slide.
Oh, okay. So I've been on that slide for some time now, so I don't know. Okay. All right. So I was on that slide for some time now because all the 3 points are on that slide. But then let's continue. I hope you can still see my screen.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, these are the responsibilities of what? DReps. So let's understand it. So that once we hear about DReps, maybe you also want to become a DRep, you should understand your role. So basically, DReps study and understand proposals. They cast informed votes in governance decisions and also represent the community's best interest. So becoming a DRep. So how do you become a DRep? So number one, there should be community trust. Community trust. So this requires trust from the community. So before ADA holders can actually delegate their voting power to you, then you should be a trusted entity in the Cardano ecosystem. And once you are a trusted entity, the community knows that you are actually bringing impact and value to the ecosystem. You see that ADA holders will want to delegate to you, and you realize that those of you who are active on the various Cardano channels and Cardano related channels or social media channels, you realize that DReps will be advertising themselves that you should delegate to them, and they will give you possible reasons why you should delegate to them and the benefits you will get for delegating to them. Yes, so because they just need to be trusted by the community, and once you are trusted by the community, they will definitely delegate to you. Then the second one, ADA holder. So you must also be an ADA holder in order to become a DRep. Yes, so that one is quite obvious. How do you become a DRep and you don't owe any ADA? That is not possible. Yes, so any ADA holder can become a DRep. So you can become a DRep. I can become a DRep. Cardano Africa Academy can become a DRep. CTEL can also become a DRep. Yes, so and it all boils down to trust. Once the community trusts you and actually appreciate the work you are doing, they will definitely delegate to you as a DRep. Then commitment, so dedication to Cardano's governance. So you are dedicated to Cardano's governance and you take part in Cardano's related governance activities, then that automatically qualifies you to step into becoming a DRep. So becoming a DRep is an important step in Cardano's governance. Any DRep holder can become a DRep. Sorry, any ADA holder can become a DRep, but it requires trust from the community. So this role demands a strong commitment to the network's future. All right, so basically that is how you become a DRep. And these three important how will I put it? These three values should be found in you. Yes, or you should possess these traits. Yeah, so there should be community trust. You should be an ADA holder, and you must also be dedicated to Cardano's governance. All right, so benefits of DReps in governance. So what are the benefits of DReps in governance? So the number one is that ensures informed decision making. So DReps ensure informed decision making. So they don't just vote because they feel like voting for a particular issue either in favor or against, but then they have to get back to those who delegated to them and find out on them their views and opinions about the vote that should be cast, and it should definitely be cast in favor of the majority of ADA holders that delegated to that particular DRep, so that in the end your vote as a DRep actually reflects the mind and thoughts of ADA holders who delegated to you. So DReps ensures informed decision making. Then also DReps increases participation in governance. So DReps also increases participation in governance, in the sense that most of the times individual ADA holders even forget to vote on governance activities that are taking place in the ecosystem. And but as for DReps, that is their job. So whatever that is out for them to vote, they are actually available to vote for it. So when you are an individual, you are busy and cannot vote, be rest assured that once you have delegated your voting power to a DRep, they are always available at all times to vote, and also to vote on your common interest and not just their interest. Then the third benefit is that builds trust between the network and its users. So DReps build trust between the network and its users. Yes, so the trust is still core here. Though ADA holders will only delegate to you a DRep once they have confidence and trust in you that you will represent their voice. Yes, and once that happens, and once you actually are voting their mind on decisions, then definitely it continually builds trust between you, the DRep, the users, and also the network, that is the Cardano blockchain as a whole. All right, so now we have looked at some roles and responsibilities. So let's also look at, and also benefits. We have looked at some benefits as well of DReps. Definitely we can't have benefits without challenges. So let's also look at some few challenges that DReps actually face, and get to know of that and work accordingly. So challenges for DReps. So the number one is what? Gaining community trust. So at times it's so DReps face the challenge of building and maintaining trust with the community they represent. Yes, so that is one of the challenges of DReps. To actually build trust in a large community is not easy. So it takes time. So you realize that some of the DReps realize that those that have the amount of ADA that has been delegated to them is not much enough, and the reason being that they have still not been able to gain a wider trust from a wider community of ADA holders, and so therefore they have to consistently prove to the community that they are capable for the task, and by what they do they are more qualified to be DReps, and so therefore community should delegate their ADA to them. Yes, so that is one of the challenges, gaining community trust. Then also staying informed about technical proposals. So DReps must continuously educate themselves on complex technical matters to make informed decisions. Yes, so this is actually a serious task for DReps. Like I said, DReps, their primary let me take it again. So the second challenge is DReps staying informed about technical proposals. So, and the explanation here is DReps must continuously educate themselves on complex technical matters to make informed decisions. So like in our previous two slides, we said that one of the rules was that DReps must study and understand proposals before they actually cast their vote or make a decision. So this means that every proposal that is brought out, it is the role or the work of DReps to actually understand that proposal. And sorry, just give me a second. I'm just going to take the second point again. I think my internet was cutting short, so I had to just turn on an alternate internet connection so I don't get off the network. Alright, so I take the second point again. So the second challenge DReps face is staying informed about technical proposals. That is, DReps must continuously educate themselves on complex technical matters to make informed decisions. So like I said, the primary role of DReps is to, from the previous slides I showed about their roles, is to study and understand proposals. So most of the time, DReps must be technical enough to understand technical proposals. So that is so much work they have to do. So you don't, if it's a non-technical proposal, I think that's quite straightforward. They can make an informed decision straight away. But when a proposal is so technical, which I know some of you can relate, even in Catalyst, the proposals that are submitted I know during the review, some of you get extremely technical proposals that you even read the language, even though it's English, but it looks like it's rocket science. Yes, so even though it's English for it's in English that the proposal was written, but the choice of words used make it look like it's rocket science, very technical. So DReps have that task or responsibility to stay informed about technical proposals. So they must, so any proposal that is brought out that needs that they vote on, they must do a lot of research to actually understand the complexities of the proposal, get to understand the proposal so that they can explain what is contained in the proposal to the community that delegated to them, so that they can now make an informed decision. So that at times can also be very challenging. Then the third challenge DReps also encounter is what? Managing accountability. Managing accountability. So DReps are responsible for their decisions and must manage the expectations and scrutiny of what? The community. Yes, so accountability is one thing that DReps have to continuously be engaging with the community, updating them on a voting decision that needs to be taken, whether it's in favor or it's against a proposal. So you have to always be accountable to what? Your people. And these are some few challenges DReps face. And now let's see a scenario of DReps and see how it's in action. Yeah, so DReps in action. So now this is how the scenario goes. So there's a new proposal, that is a new proposal suggesting increasing the block size on Cardano for better scalability. So a proposal has been written that is suggesting that the block size on Cardano should be what? Increased. So the block size on Cardano should be increased, and the reason for that is what? For better scalability. And so now the next point is what? Community uncertainty. So ADA holders are unsure about the technical implications of the proposal. So so the community or ADA holders have seen that there's a new proposal that suggests that there should be an increase in the block size on what? Cardano for better scalability. But then these ADA holders, that's the point too, are not sure about the technical implications of that proposal. So maybe they are not sure whether we should vote for this proposal to come to pass or we should vote against it. So now that work is taxed, or that this uncertainty definitely will have to be clarified by the DReps. So the point 3 is what? DReps analysis. So DReps analyze the proposal, consult with technical experts, and communicate the pros and cons to the community. So good. So once we are faced with this new proposal, this technical proposal, and ADA holders are not sure of the implications of this proposal, this is where the DReps will now come in to analyze the proposal. And if it is so much technical for them to also understand, so they can explain to the community, what they also have to do is to consult with what? Technical experts in line with who understands the proposal better. And once they explain to them about the pros and cons, that is the advantages and disadvantages of that proposal when it is implemented or when it is not implemented, then DReps can also now also communicate to the community. And in point 4, now we have the voting process. So based on the findings from the DReps will now vote on behalf of ADA holders they represent. So after their findings from the technical experts, so DReps will now have explained to the community of ADA holders, and now they can now take a decision by voting on behalf of the ADA holders that they represent, that yes, we agree that this new proposal should be passed and because of that we are voting yes for that proposal, and that is how the entire DRep process actually works. All right, so I think I'll end it here, and so I'll handle the next one, that is introduction to so that's the constitutional committee, maybe in our next meeting. So like I said, I always want to keep these sessions very short as much as possible, so that I don't load us with so much content such that we are not even able to understand it. And I've also tried my best to break it down into bits so that we get to understand, and so we can actually participate fully in governance related activities in the Cardano ecosystem. All right, so I'll end the presentation here, and I'll now be ready to take some questions from the community. Thank you, and enjoy a great week ahead of us. Bye.
Bye.